All right, you guys, we're back at this virtually. So what you get out of this is what you put into it. So we're going to start out by doing some motion with the Player Sprite. I'm going to cut this into two different videos, one for the motion and then one for the costume change. So this is part one. So if you remember back into our tag game, we used the up arrow, down arrow, right arrow, left arrow. So right now we're just going to keep this simple, and we're going to start this when the green flag is clicked. All right, that is just for now. We're going to change that, so when we change screens, we hide and we show things, and that's going to be changed next time. I like when we use a forever loop, and the reason why is because when it's reading through this, it'll go through every single arrow command over and over again, which gives you the opportunity to move at an angle. So we need to have a forever loop, and then inside those forever loops, we need to have an if-then statement. So we're going to put that inside. And something we were running into was that people were putting if statements inside of if statements inside of if statements. For this, we don't want if statements inside of if statements. We just want if statements inside of the forever loop. So let's go to the right. The first thing we need to do is find the motion. Let's go sensing. So we want this button right here where it says key pressed. And we're going to go to the right now. So we're going to change that to the right. We're going to stick that in that if-then statement. And remember, we're talking X and Y. X is this way. Y is up and down. So if we go to the right, that's going to be a positive motion. We want to change X by positive. And right now, we're just going to keep it at 10. So here's our change X by 10. So right now, if I hit the green arrow and I push my right arrow, I'm going to the right by 10 steps. I'm pushing my left down and up, and nothing's happening yet because we haven't programmed it. We haven't coded it yet. So Mr. Emerson loves this duplicate key or this duplicate tool. So I'm going to right click or two-finger click on the mouse pad and hit duplicate, and it gives me a whole nother if statement. And then I'm going to do duplicate. I'm going to stick that on the outside of there, and I'm going to do duplicate. Now, these all say the same thing, right arrow. I need to change this one to the left arrow. I need to change this one to the up arrow. I need to change this one to the down arrow. Now, if we want to move left on the x-axis, our change by x needs to be a -10. Just think of the number line. All the negative numbers are to the left, all the positive numbers are to the right. For the up arrow, if I push up, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to hit the green arrow. I'm going to press the up arrow. And look what happens. It moves to the right because I'm telling it to change X by 10. That means it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2 to the right. Same thing with the down arrow. If I push the down arrow, it's going in the same direction. So I'm telling it to do the same thing. We can't have that. So we got to pull out this change by X and this change by X. Get rid of those. We need to put change by Y in there. And another change by Y in there. Now the Y is like the thermometer, right? You have 0 and all the positive temperatures above it, and then all the negative temperatures below it. So if we're going to go up, we need to keep 10. And if we're going to go down, we're going to change that to -10. So let's check. Now we got to test it. Let's check it. All right. I'm going to push the right arrow. I go right. I'm going to push the left arrow. I'm going left. I'm going to push the up arrow. I'm going up. I'm going to push the down arrow. Going down. So right there, we now have our motion for our sprite. And this is what I was talking about for the ever loop. I'm going to push the up arrow and the right arrow at the same time. And it gives me a diagonal motion. Okay, so there are lots of different ways that you can do this. This is just one of them. You can try some other ways, but this is one you can go back to. Now look for the second video on this, and we'll start changing the costumes for this sprite. Good job, folks. Remember, play, pause, do. Don't forget that.